crafty friends, it's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings, and we are doing a Scrappy Tails video with the Whimsical layering daisy set. That's the centers you can cut out. I'm going to turn these into sunflowers. So I'm going to pop out some larger circles. And what I absolutely love about this set is it gives you so many styles, even a side shot of a daisy. So if you want to do that quintessential, blown with the petals hanging down, this is your die set. And you can see even with one cut pass, you're going to make a beautiful daisy or a beautiful sunflower by just layering up what you've got. So I did a bunch of them here, but I'm only kind of showing you a few of them. And I just have taken them and used them kind of in a haphazard way to layer them together. So these two I'm kind of doing askew from each other, and there is a die for each one of these particular cuts here. And then you also have this piece, which gives you the nice little wispy side pieces that you would see if you were looking at a daisy or any type of flower that was kind of on its way out. So anyways, I really like that because it gave a really unique look to the arrangement that I made in the card that we're going to be making today. So I have these two circles. You go ahead and use whatever circle dies or circle punches that you have, but whatever you've got, you want to kind of make it look a little oversized. And yeah, that one is a little bit big for that flower, and this one could maybe be a tiny bit bigger for a sunflower. But you know what? Nobody's looking for botanical accuracy when you're making these kinds of cards. Now I punched out another piece for our side view sunflower, and I'm going to cut a hunk off of it here, and then I'm going to just round it on the one side. And if that is not possible to do all the way around, flip it over and cut it, and that way both sides are going to match. We'll throw a little bit of glue on here and get that stuck down. So this is the Assorted leaves die, and I've already got that glued to some thick acetate. We're taking the 3 leaves off so we can use a good inch of cleared off acetate at the top so that we give those sunflowers some great support. Today's card is going to be a pop-up one, so you're going to need to use your 5x7 pop-up box die mechanism. And this is also a Scrappy Tails craft product. It's an essential, and I think it's like around $10, $10 or $11. It's fantastically priced for how much you can get from this little die here. So we're just assembling it together. This is the sliding piece, and then this is the sleeve piece. And I just was popping out the little holes to make sure that the elastic has a place to sit. And we're adding some ATG. I like to just fortify my sliding stick. And then I like to add a little fortification to the tab on the sleeve that is going to be glued to the card. You always want to stay away from those notches though. And don't glue the full length of the sleeve or you won't be able to put the little slider piece inside. Like this. Slidey, slidey. Next, you're going to need a 5x7 piece of decorative paper, 2-sided is best, and go ahead and put a mark down the length of it on either side at 2.5 inches, not quite to the top on the front side. And I've also punched out here 7-inch by 3/4 inch reinforcement sides, and that's their punched width. This is just going to reinforce the sides so that they're strong enough when the mechanism pulls on them. After you've done this, you need to go ahead and put a score line down the length of each one of these at 1/4 inch. Fold those back, and then you're also going to bend this cardstock and start to train it to go in kind of a cup shape. And it's good to do this before you start getting everything on it, just to convince it that that's what it needs to do. Now, the other thing we're going to be doing is adding this gift card holder. So you're going to cut one of the A7 from the gift holder die, and then you're also going to cut another matching piece by 5 by 2 3/8 inches, and then the mini card is 5 by 4.5 scored at 2 1/4. So I'm taking all of these pieces and stacking them together so that when I fold my flaps in, that it actually has enough room for the card itself, because I have a bad habit of making them too tight and then it's hard to get the card in and out. So a good tip is just to put the card in while you're doing it, and that way then you're not going to get stuck like I have with too tiny a pocket for the card that you made. Add a little ATG on these little flaps here. And then you're going to take all those pieces and put them back in. I'm just checking which side goes forward. Gonna get the bottom one done, and then I'll put back the card inside and then we're going to fold those pieces to glue them in place, and that way we've got enough room for the card to slide in and out easily. So to stick this card holder down, we're just going to run 2 lines of glue runner, or you can use regular glue if you want, down that pencil line that we added to the back, and we're just going to center this card holder up on top of this back here, and this is also going to give it a little bit of a foot for support, so when the card does pop up, it has something that's going to keep it from going backwards. And the little card holder is great too, because now you're going to have a little card that you can give, and you can put a gift card inside that. On the front, we're going to need a foot. So we have this piece here, and we're going to be gluing it to the side edges. And this base stand-up is going to be 5 inches wide by 1.5 inches deep, and you're going to score 1/4 inch at each end. And it's important to make sure you line it up right with the bottom of your card. The other thing too is you want to train that front curve so that when you do stand it up, it already knows that it's going to stick out. So these are the pieces that we're going to need to stick on for all of our flowers to pop out. And I decided to use clear acetate for this because I wanted everybody to be able to see the designs behind. So for this top piece, you're going to need 2 pieces, and they're going to be 2.5 inches by 3/4 inches wide. And you're going to score them at 3/8 inch on each end. So line them up on the center line there that we drew, and you're going to try and make sure that they go kind of parallel with each other coming out there. So we're going to stick on Baby's Breath from the Assorted Leaves die set, and you can see there's the stem from the greenery that we added to the bottom of the sunflowers. The die set, the Whimsical Daisies die set, does come with stems and leaves. I just like these better for making sunflowers. So the next piece that we're sticking on is going to be 3 inches by 3/4 inches wide, and again you're going to be doing the 2 or the 3/8 inch score on each end. It's a good idea to check your layers before you glue anything down. So I'm actually lining up the flowers from the next layer against the ones that I've got here, and then I'm just showing it's quick grip glue that I've got that I'm using to glue acetate to acetate. So the next piece is going to be 3 3/4 inches by 3/4 inches wide, and we are going to be gluing 3 flowers on here. And I'm going to leave in a little mistake that I made. I'll show you in a little bit. So I'm just kind of eyeballing these, and we're going to scooch some glue behind the one so I can mimic the angle on the other side, and we'll glue that down. I'm not sure what else would glue well. I know red line tape would probably work good. So we're just going to take this and add some glue to it. So there's actually 3 flowers on this layer here. And you see it didn't flip out. And what I realized is that I needed to cut the stems off because they were getting caught when I went to have them stick out. So this last piece also was a mistake. What happened is I added the elastics there to the pop-up mechanism, and when I installed the pop-up mechanism over top of the last piece of acetate, the last piece of acetate pushed forward and then kind of pushed a bubble backwards, which pushed all the flowers into the card. So you can see they wouldn't pop up. I was like, oh no, why won't you pop up now? I just fixed you. So you can see not everything goes the way I want either. So I just went ahead and snipped that off. So what those pieces ended up being was 2 1/4 inches by 3/4 inches, and you're only going to score 3/8 inch at each end. So because I wanted to line it up and make sure that everything was going to lay nicely when it was flat and well when it was popped up, I actually added on the pop-up mechanism and then put it back on so that I could see where it would all come together. You can see those, how they're glued on to just those little flaps. Now I'd done flaps before in the 5x7 kind of sideways scene card. So now that we're doing the 5x7 portrait scene card, I realize now we need those same flaps. So I just inserted that back in here again, and I'm just going to flip the elastic on, and that's the whole key, is push your plunger piece into the sleeve as far as it can go, and then put the elastic on after pinching it together. It'll be much easier to put together. Okay, so now we need to do something to cover this front pop-up thing. And you can see how everything's standing up beautifully now. There's our little card on the back. We've got the foot there. I took these pieces of little skinny tape. I actually cut it down skinnier, and I think it is barely a 1/4 inch. And it's foam tape that you're going to be putting on. So you need to secure it with foam tape to both sides. And then you need to run a strip across the sleeve, and you need to put just a little square here without going past the elastic hookup hole. The whole point being is that we're trying to keep everything away from that elastic so that the sleeves can slide. And so this decorative piece here is 1 1/8 inch wide, and then I just layered some pieces up on top. And you can see when this slides together, it's going to reach just about to the middle, and I actually overshot with my foam tape on the sleeve piece and had to take some off. So if you put a pencil mark there so that you knew where the middle was when it was pulled together, that would be helpful. Now I've got the other piece here that I'm going to put on the other side, and don't worry if it leaves a little gap here, that's not a problem, because we have a decorative piece, and this is from the 5x7 pop-up box die set that Sabrina has designed, and it has some really great extra pieces with it. It's such a pretty pop-up box die set. It's I did one with a baby card, and oh, I just love it so much. Anyways, so you can see that when it's only glued on by the one corner will stay in front of the piece that you need to disguise, and then you can cut this extra little bit off here now that we've got it all working together. And we'll just test it again and make sure everything's good to go. And I had a happy birthday left over from a card that I made for my husband's friend's birthday. It's a happy birthday die from Pink and Main, and it's got a layering aspect to it that I did in acetate. Isn't that card hilarious? That's real AstroTurf. So I'm just using some glossy accents, and I'll stick this in place. The acetate's nice because it'll allow it to stick up past our little foot here. And I just wanted to say, if you like any of the cards that I make with any of the supplies from Scrappy Tails Crafts, I do sell my cards, and if you want to make a card like this and sell it, these things sell like hotcakes. You are very welcome to copy my design. Now I did add an extra little sunflower to the gift card holder for the back, and you could put a gift card in that and then still have some space to write a note. And if somebody wanted to, they could actually re-gift this card if they felt like it. Maybe they wouldn't part with it. I don't know. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that I've inspired you some. And if there's any products that you might be interested in looking at or purchasing, my affiliate links are listed below. To those of you who have used my affiliate links, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me. It's really just amazing. Now, if you've been new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I sure would like it if you would. That way we can find each other again and you won't miss out on any of my future crafty antics. Please don't forget to comment, like, and share with your friends. Have an awesome day, and if you're looking for a few more videos, here they are. Thanks, bye!